All right, this week we are adding a cactus-themed garden flag to our collection for the front porch. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this project is. All right, to prep for today's video, I did a Google search of garden flags with a cactus theme, and I found one that I thought was absolutely gorgeous, and it would be a lot of fun to recreate in miniature. So we're going to start with our flag blank that I always start with. It's a piece of white muslin, 100% muslin, cotton muslin fabric. It's 1 inch wide by about 3.5 inches long, and I have three. These are big market pens, or big, what do they call them now? Whatever they're called. I don't remember what their name is. Just permanent Bic markers. They're an alcohol marker. Now you could use Bics, you could use Sharpies, you could use Copic markers, you could use Spectrum Noir markers. Arteza makes some wonderful alcohol markers. Any alcohol ink-based marker that you have or that you can go buy are going to work for this. And I love using alcohol markers on fabric. Now, to cut down on mess, I am going to put this on top of a piece of white paper. This is just a piece of printer paper that's folded over into fourths. That way I've got 4 layers of paper underneath here, because the ink is going to go all the way through the paper, through the fabric, and make a mess. And I really don't want a huge mess all over my tile that I have to clean up. Now, the beauty of alcohol markers is alcohol ink is permanent, but isopropyl alcohol will remove it and or dilute it. And we are going to get some really cool effects. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm taking my yellow and I'm just making lines. I'm just kind of covering, I'm trying to fill in as much of this fabric as I can with the yellow. It doesn't need to be solid though. In fact, I don't want it to be solid. So that's pretty much all yellow. I'm going to take the orange. And let's see, I'm going to fold this in half and kind of finger press it so that I know where my middle is. There. Now, and try and keep your lines horizontal as much as possible on this. It's going to make the effect much better if your lines are horizontal on your flag. Those are a little crooked down there, but that's okay. And now I'm going to take a red one. And now is where the fun is going to happen. I have some 90% isopropyl alcohol. You just get it at the pharmacy, you know, in with the first aid stuff. And I've put it into a small spray bottle. I use this a lot with fabric when I'm doing fabric art. And I'm just going to get that whole piece of fabric wet. And then I need to let this dry. I'm going to get a little bit more soaked. But you see how that ink is just running? And we're going to let that dry, and we can always add more if we want. I think I will get something and blot up some of the extra there. I've got a lot of extra alcohol that's running around there. All right, I'm going to let that dry. When this gets dry, I'll come back and we'll see if we want to add any more color. All right, so this has dried. It's actually dried overnight. I got busy yesterday, but I want to add more red. I love the way it looks, but I want more red color because the one that I saw online definitely had more red. And that's the beauty of this technique. You can add to it. You can see how much soaked out. This is why I put it on the paper. So I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to, this time I'm not going to saturate it as much, just enough to soften that red. And then I'm going to let that dry. And when that's dry, we'll come back and I'll decide if I'm ready to move on to the next step. All right, I trimmed my garden flag blank down to the exact size I need, which is 3 inches long by 1 inch wide. And we've moved over to where I've got my little small iron set up. Now you could use your regular big iron, you know, that you use for your clothes. I've got this little one that's really handy for doing little craft projects, and it prevents me from getting any weird things on my good iron that I use for sewing and stuff. So I've got my fabric here, and I've got a piece of Ultra Hold Heat and Bond, which is this stuff. I'm just going to quickly cover what this does in this video. I've gone over it in detail in past videos in this playlist, and I'll try to link the playlist at the end of this video so you can go back and watch the other garden flags. But basically what this is, it's a fusible bond. It's, in other words, it's a glue that we iron onto our fabric. And this one has a paper backing. So it's paper on this side, and it's a glue on this side. The paper side is nice and smooth. The glue side is bumpy and kind of shiny. So go to the back of your fabric, put the glue side down on your fabric, and follow the directions on your package of paper-backed fusible webbing. And that comes in different brands. I just prefer this one. And because this is just a craft project, I'm a little looser with how long I do the ironing and stuff, but you iron it on, then you peel off the paper backing, which is sometimes the hardest part of the whole project. And now you can see that your glue is here because it's shiny. Fold it over with the wrong side back. And we'll notice we're not going all the way to the fold because that's where our little flag pole is going to go. Line these edges up nice and straight. And then you press it with your iron for about 8 seconds. I'll press it a little more thoroughly off camera. But now we're ready to add our cactus design. So we'll move back over to where I do that, and I'll be right back. All right, I've moved back to my work tile, and I'm protecting my tile today with a piece of just plain white paper. I'm going to make sure that my fold is at the top, so I make my flag the right side up, but it is. So we're going to paint this now while the flag's together because I want it to be the same on both sides, and that way I can kind of use my bleed through from one side to paint the other side. So I'm kind of, like I think I said earlier, I've actually filmed this over the course of over a week. So I think I said earlier, I'm basing this on one I saw online. So I am going to take my black paint pen, and I'm going to start with a line. I'm just making a very simple cactus. You can make yours more detailed if you're more talented than I am. So I am going to leave that to dry, and I'm really hoping, yeah, I can see through. I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes, and once that paint has a chance to dry, I'll come back and we will do the back side. All right, this paint is now dried for about 5 or 10 minutes. That's really all you need. You just need it so it won't smear when you turn it over. And I can see, I'm not sure if the camera's picking, yeah, it's picking up pretty well. I can see pretty well through the back of my flag. And you can always go back and touch up. Look and see. I'll probably off camera touch up this side a little bit, and then when the paint is dry, I'll move this over to the dollhouse. We'll put it on the flagpole, and we'll see how it looks with the rest of our collection. All right, there is our little cactus garden flag on our flag bracket on the front porch of the dollhouse. I think that turned out really cute. Be sure and check the blog post for photos. I'll try and have some good photos over there. I hope this video turned out okay. This is actually the first video I have edited using my new software, so please be patient with the editing process. This is going to be a very, very steep learning curve for learning this new software. So hopefully I can have some really good videos for you in the future, but in the meantime, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, if you enjoyed my video, be sure and hit the like button. Leave me a comment. What topics would you like to see covered in future videos? If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. I want to thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.